views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program host and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by TCN TV Network Incorporated. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. The TCN TV Network claims no rights to the said content. TCN TV Network cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. TCN TV Network is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this program.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shaping Life, where we discuss all things health and we connect with the right people and information to put us on a path towards being our best selves. And I'm your host, Trish Curling. So today, my very special guest is Coach Kareem Griffin. So welcome, Kareem.
Thank you for having me.
So glad you're here today. So let me tell you a little bit about Kareem. Kareem's got a quite lengthy resume, so I tried to condense it a little bit.
A little too long.
It's all good. It's all good. Kareem is currently the head coach of the Seneca College varsity women's team, and he's also the director and CEO of Canlete Sports, which is an event-based organization dedicated to the promotion and exposure of youth basketball. So like I said again, welcome, Kareem. I'm so glad to have you today.
No, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Trish.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. So let's state the obvious. This year has been a huge year for basketball this year. Am I right?
Yes, it has.
And I know you were all up in it. So let's have a look at this clip.
Toronto, the six, we the North. First take is in the building. Canada, we have arrived. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us inside Scotiabank Arena. This crowd is ready to go. The first time that
So there you are, like I said, of course, all up in it, which I'm not surprised. When I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, there's Kareem in the center of the Raptors.
It would, that's just me. It was an amazing run. I got to witness it firsthand. The Raptors, we were waiting for this 25 years.
Yeah.
And even more so, the last time the city won a championship in the four major sports was, the Blue Jays, which,
wow.
I mean, I was really, really young. And,
this age, yeah.
So, it was just good to see. And, I wanted to witness it because, I know how precious it is to win a championship, knowing that it may never happen again.
Absolutely.
So, while I'm in it, I'm in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, you've dedicated your life to basketball. I mean, I have to say that, for me and people who know me well, know that I know nothing about basketball. So let's see how this goes today. But how early was the start for you? Like, when was the first time that you knew you actually fell in love with the game?
I would say the 91 finals. Michael Jordan, he was an amazing athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He just did everything with grace and with determination, with strength. And, every kid, after that year wanted to be like Mike.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
the commercials came out and, everybody was trying to be like Mike, so, I wanted to be like Mike, but, I didn't get the Mike height. So, I had to.
What about Spud Webb? I know Spud, right? Spud is.
Yeah, but who wants to be Spud Webb? I want to be Mike, I don't want to be Spud, I want to be, gliding in the air and, shooting the fadeaway jump. I'm not trying to,
All right.
I'm living the Spud life.
Understandable. So did you play it all yourself or no?
Yeah, I played it. I'm a Toronto guy through and through, and you just go with the wave of sports. So growing up, in my neighborhood, it was hockey and it was baseball.
Okay.
More so for me, it was baseball.
Okay.
So when the Raptors came in '95, with the culture shift, I
Yeah.
shifted with it, and I started playing basketball and started growing a love for the game.
Nice, nice. And so coaching, I mean, this is such a big part of your life now. So how did you make that transition, or like when did all that kind of happen?
I realized to myself that I wasn't going to be 6'6", and I'm like, I have to figure out another way to stay involved in the game.
Okay.
I've had some really good mentors. One of which Roy Rana, who coaches at the Sacramento Kings in the NBA now. He got me involved in basketball and the whole other side of the game outside of the player side on the more coaching side that it interests me, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Right.
So I just he instilled a thirst for me to want to coach and to want to have success with our athletes.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So when we come back, we're actually going to talk about your early days, because you've coached a number of teams, throughout your career so far. And so we're going to get back into that when we come back on Shaping Life.
World famous spiritual astrologer and psychic Pandit Sai is born to serve people. He's an expert on palmistry and horoscope. He can handle all problems and give Vedic solutions for business, job, love, marriage, husband and wife problems, children, personal, and many others, including depression. He also performs pujas to clear all sorts of obstacles. Call Pandit Sai and see changes in your life now. 647-766-1419. Located at 2895 Derry Road, East Mississauga, Airport Road and Derry.
So there you are. That's obviously one of your earlier pictures of coaching. I'm assuming, am I right? Yeah.
I wouldn't say one of my earlier ones. I'd say this was 2011 or 12.
Okay. So not too long ago.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So what I wanted to ask you is, what did it feel like knowing you were responsible now to actually guide it?
World famous spiritual
you make that
astrologer and psychic Pandit
transition,
Sai.
you have the passion. So how does it turn into, okay, here I am now. Now I'm in my first gig, if that's what you want to call it. How did that feel?
100% nervous. 100%
Yeah.
nervous. You never know how the athletes are going to respond to you.
Right.
You just have to do the best you can in trying to connect with them the best way you see fit. I would say that for myself, I'm a very good connector.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to read people and see if I can get them to compete,
Right.
at a certain level,
Right.
and making them feel comfortable doing it.
Nice. And so what teams have you worked with so far?
My first team actually was at Eastern Commerce.
Okay.
It was a powerhouse basketball school. That's where I kind of got my in.
Okay.
I've worked with the provincial team representing Ontario on the
Wow.
national stage. I've worked with Canada Basketball. Most recent, I was with Ryerson University,
Okay.
Central Tech Prep School, and my most recent gig right now is Seneca College.
Wow. Yes, which I can't wait to get into that some more a bit later. But one of the things that I wanted to ask about is, other than the obvious skills though that the players need, obvious basketball skills that they need. What else do you look for? So when you're comprising your team, what kind of skills, what kind of qualities do they need to possess?
I mean, number one, they have to have good character.
Okay.
They have to be a good teammate. It's not, at the level that I'm coaching at right now, it's not everything. Everybody is pretty much, they know their craft.
Right.
And it's splitting hairs at that moment of time of what separates you from another athlete. And, we look at, how good of a teammate you are. Do you pick somebody up off the floor when they fall?
Right.
Are you cheering for them
Yes.
when they make a good play? Are you comforting them when they do something that is, creates us to not have success?
Right.
Just those intangibles.
Yeah.
Can you play hard for whatever length of time? If you play for 2 minutes, are you going to play as hard as the person who plays for 30 minutes?
Right.
We get those kinds of balances with our teams, then we're unstoppable.
Right.
I'm very confident in my coaching style, especially being in the game for 17 years.
Yes.
Even though I don't look like I've been in the game 17 years,
Baby face.
I got that baby face going on, but it's okay though. I love it. But you just have to have good quality people, to help them transition from being in a school environment into the real world.
Right. And because, like you said, those skills are transferable, right? It doesn't just sit on the basketball court. So that's huge and that's important. I know that you've had a lot of players go on to achieve some amazing things. So what are some of those achievements that they have done to date?
I would say that the most popular athlete that I've coached thus far is Sammy Hill.
Okay.
She's currently on the Canadian women's national team as we speak.
Amazing.
They just came off of a tour out in Edmonton where they were very successful there.
Mm-hmm.
I've had one athlete that's very close to me, Leanne Osei.
Mm-hmm.
She's coaching at the University of St. Francis Xavier in Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
Wow.
So she's running her own show, and I wish her all the best, and hopefully she gets some wins and she can get into into the AUS tournament, into nationals. For me as well, it's not really about basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about with women's basketball is, the professional level is, your lifespan is for so many years.
Right.
That, you have to transition into your career at some point in time.
Right.
So, as many accomplishments as we have with our athletes, going to play professional basketball, we do have just as many that are bankers or
Mm-hmm.
that are trying to be lawyers or pursuing whatever career that they went to school for.
Right. Oh, that's incredible. It's so amazing to hear that. And I mean, you've talked a lot about, women. That's come up a lot. So have you mostly or only coached women, or because I see you did have some boys teams as well?
You got to dabble in both. You can't just, you can't just have, the girls and not just do boys and vice
Right.
versa. I think that my versatility is that I can coach in the men's game as well as in the women's game.
Right.
There's definitely a lot of differences between the two.
Great.
100%
Yes.
differences.
Okay, wonderful.
That,
I can't wait to dig into that.
I don't think we'll get into that because I don't want to get in trouble. So I think
That's my question coming up, though, Kareem. You have to get into it now.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll dabble in it.
We'll dabble. But you're very passionate now, obviously working with the women's team. So is that something that you prefer, would you say, or is that the kind of question that's going to get you in trouble?
No. I would say, predominantly I've coached in the women's game.
Mm-hmm.
It's what allowed me to figure things out. So 100% coaching women is that's my element.
Mm-hmm.
Have I coached boys teams? Clearly, yes.
Yes.
Which one do I prefer? The women's game is a lot more fun. There's a lot more.
Okay.
There's a lot more excitement to it.
Interesting.
Outside of the court.
Why do you
outside of the floor? Okay. Women know how to have fun. They just they want to have fun. So as long as you create an environment that is fun for them to be in, they'll soak it up and you'll
Right.
just be a part of it.
Nice. Oh, I love it. Okay, well, we're going to get into a little bit more of that when we come back because we're going to talk about your involvement with Can Lead Sports, what that organization is. We talked about that in your bio a little bit in the beginning. And I had the pleasure of being able to be amongst some of those
Oh yes, 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 you have.
some of those
Yes, you
girls.
have.
So those young women. So and it was a pleasure. And you're right, they did definitely know how to have fun. So when we come back on Shaping Life, we're going to talk about Can Leads and a little bit more about Seneca when we come back.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
So welcome back. We're here with Coach Kareem Griffin, and now we're going to talk a little bit about Can Lead Sports. So tell us about Can Leads and what it is, how long you've been working and involved with that organization.
So as I mentioned, Leanna Osei, she was the one that founded Can Lead Sports.
Okay.
Back in 2012. She came back from school. She was at the University of Miami. Then she transferred to another college and then came back home. She wanted to develop a platform for young women to be exposed, just because she was one that went through the process.
Right.
And at the time, it's not like it is now. 10, 12 years ago, YouTube wasn't really a thing.
Right.
And to get exposed to college coaches and to the community as a whole was just that much harder. So she wanted to develop a platform for women and young women to showcase their talents, and I was all for it. I was all for it. I was also trying to transition out of basketball coaching.
Okay.
And I wanted to get into another realm of it.
Okay.
I've had a lot of success up to that point, and for myself, I was kind of in the middle of, do I really want to continue this? I've kind of fulfilled most of the goals that I wanted out in coaching, and
Right.
I wanted a new challenge, and I knew that she needed help in developing the brand.
Right.
And, so I jumped on it, and we've had a lot of events over the course of 8 years.
Nice.
That have definitely put women's basketball in the forefront, in terms of their exposure.
Right. I love it. And so tell us a little bit about some of the events. Like what do you, when you say that, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, we try to do events every 3 months, so quarterly.
Okay.
Our last event was Shoot for a Cure basketball showcase, which is dedicated to my mother and all women or men or anybody who's been affected by cancer.
Yes.
That's where we, try to attract some of the best talent and raise some money for the Canadian Cancer Society. We also put on camps and or clinics to, again, help them transition into the college realm, kind of give them some pointers and some tips as to, what to look forward to moving forward into the collegiate system. And also too, like give them, some, something different. So we try to have workshops during our camps that, showcase and explain, about saving money, about financial literacy.
Ah, that's amazing.
About how to manage your time at the next level. Because these are all things that, kids tend to neglect.
Right.
Because they're kids. So,
Sure.
we got to hold their hand, until they are able to walk on their own. So, we like I said, we try to, run something every 3 or 4 months to kind of keep the community engaged and also, expose them to a different level.
Nice. I love that. I mean, that's so important. Like you said, these transferable skills that whether they go on to play ball, later on, in college or university or whatever or beyond, but also in whatever job that they're doing or career path that they choose. So that's really really cool. I didn't know that. So that's amazing. If there are young people, or is it just women that you're working with? Yes, and within Can Leads.
Well, within Canleys, we don't create any bias.
Okay.
So every now and again we'll do an event for boys.
Okay.
Part of the reason why we don't and we stay predominantly with the women's side is there's not enough platforms for women's basketball.
Right.
Where there with men, there's just way too many.
Absolutely.
And so it provides us with a lane that we can exploit and help women achieve certain success or exposure.
I love it. I love it. And so if, there's somebody that wants to get involved, a young woman that does want to get involved with Can Leads, is that like, how does that work? What's that process like?
Well, they got to find me first. they got to come. They got to find me. I'm in these streets, so it won't be hard to find me. They can hit us up on our Instagram.
Okay.
They can leave a message, @canleads_sports.
Nice.
Or our Twitter page or our Facebook page.
Okay.
Definitely, if anybody wants to get involved, we are more than open to that idea, because all it does is just exposes the game,
right?
Even more so without us having to really do anything. It's someone else that's coming in to lend a helping hand.
That's awesome, amazing. So, what are you talked about having so much fun with your teams and so on. Like, what are some of the most memorable moments would you say that you've had in your coaching experience or the events with Can Leads, whatever?
I would say some of the funniest moments are not even when we're it's mostly in practice.
Okay, yeah.
Like some of these athletes that I've coached, they have some really strong personalities.
Yeah. To put it lightly, right?
Yeah. They have some real strong personalities. Some of them are real. They just love having fun.
Yeah.
And they make me laugh.
Yes.
They make me laugh. I can honestly say that I have a good time with them, even though I don't show it sometimes.
Gotta be Coach Griffin.
I gotta lay the hammer down. I gotta show them that. It's all fun and games until I step inside the lines.
Right.
And then it's a different scenario. But just team outings, things that we do, team dinners. It's just a lot of it too is just it's a way for them and for myself to get to know each other.
Yes.
Outside of a basketball setting.
Right.
So if it's something like I said, going to a team dinner, or we'll go to the movies, or
nice.
Something that has nothing to do with basketball.
Right.
You get to really see their true personality.
Nice. And so for you now, we talk about the players and so on, but for you, how has coaching or being involved with Can Leads, how has that contributed to your well-being, your personal well-being?
Well, I still have my hair, so
So it's working out for you.
Yeah, I still got my hair, so
No stress.
No stress at all. No stress at all. No, I think for me, it's taught me how to deal with different personalities.
Okay.
And how to manage people who are difficult, to manage people who are not difficult.
Right.
Obviously, I've coached in the inner city, so you're dealing with a lot of social issues.
Right.
Things where kids, don't come from the most means.
Right.
Financially, or they don't, if you are a good coach, you're going to be the father, or, if it's female, the mother,
right.
aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather,
right.
whatever they need, that athlete needs to fulfill,
right.
True achievement, you have to fill that gap for them. So, it teaches you how to be patient.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Be patient and don't fire off at the handle.
Because it can be easy, I'm sure.
Oh no. They'll test you. They'll test you.
Yeah.
My team specifically right now. They test me every day, and
Hope they're listening.
Oh, I hope so too.
He said it, not me.
I said it. So but I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
I'm a process builder. I'm not. I love to start with a project and finish it, see it through, watch the growth within it. That's what excites me.
Nice.
Success is not just measured in gold medals.
Right.
You got to find different things, especially with teams, because there's only one winner.
Right.
There's only going to be one winner every season. So
Right.
you got to find something else to throw your hat on in terms of success.
I love it. Love that attitude. That's amazing. We'll talk very quickly, and maybe we'll have to get into this a little bit deeper when we come back. But, you talked about the differences between working with, female athletes versus male athletes. What are some of the challenges you would say that female athletes face, or that you have experienced with them?
I would say that at every level, it's just the interest.
Okay.
That would be the number one thing. It's just the interest level of women's basketball to men's basketball.
Right.
Women's basketball, it's not played over the rim like men.
Right.
So that interest of high flying and dunks
Yes,
and
okay.
what have you just doesn't bring that interest to the game.
Right.
Being undervalued,
Okay.
I would say, in the women's game is a big deal, which is why we, for Canleats, we don't have a lot of men's events, because we want to make sure that the women's game is put on a level
Right.
that it's become the main attraction and
Right.
not just the undercard. So it's just the respect level in women's basketball needs to come up. I would say the professional game, the money, 100%.
Yes. No kidding.
Definitely the money.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of statistics where, like, for one, I think Steph Curry makes more money than everybody in the WNBA.
Wow.
On check or something crazy
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And what people don't realize with the WNBA athletes, that they transition from playing in the league and then going overseas and not really having a lot of time, of downtime, where it's just a vicious cycle for them. So their bodies are, depleting a lot quicker than, a male, because they're not getting the sufficient, rest and recovery time.
Wow. This is so intriguing to me, because, again, we can talk about them talk about this stuff on a surface level, but to really kind of deeply understand what the women are experiencing, even on that physical level, is crazy. That's going to lead nicely into when we come back. Kareem, you recently visited the Helix event, which you'll tell me about, because I have no idea what it is. But you asked an important question about WNBA, so we'll talk about that when we come back on Shaping Life. Kareem and I are here getting all caught up in conversation, like, oh, okay, it's time to get back on. So here we are. We're going to talk about the Helix event. Can you just explain that to me first, what that was all about, Kareem?
So it was an event that Seneca College put on for John Bitov. He was the gentleman that founded the Toronto Raptors and brought them to the NBA, to Canada. So, we, the Seneca men's and women's basketball team, we attended that event to show support. And I wanted to go particularly because this is a gentleman that brought basketball and has turned our country upside down.
Yeah, exactly.
Where nobody watches hockey anymore. So shout out to John Bittoff.
Yeah, and hey, listen, I even watched some of the finals. Like, that's huge. Again, if people know me, I don't like. People are like, "Oh, the basketball game's on time." I'm like, "It's basketball season." So, so the fact that I watched. So thank you, Mr. Bittoff. Is that who? It is? Anyways, but you did have some really important questions at the Helix event, and so I just want to run a clip showing those questions that you had there.
Is through your experience in starting a franchise in the city, do you think that this country now can support a WNBA franchise? And if you could, what city outside of Toronto would you choose? And another question, do you think that an independent entrepreneur or organization can start the franchise outside of MLSC?
Okay, so those are 3 questions.
So 2 really good, important questions. What was his answer?
Definitely, he said we can definitely support a WNBA franchise in our country. I mean, he just confirming it. I've been knowing that we can do this in our country. We have every major professional team outside of the NFL in our country. We definitely have the fan base to do it.
Right.
It's just a matter of making it happen, or someone investing in making it happen.
Right.
I just kind of put him on the spot there because I wanted him to confirm it for the masses. Yes. So
because I heard it in his voice, he was like, "Oh yeah, that was a good question." Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I had to stump him a little bit and be like, "Whoa, why is he asking this?" I was kind of putting it out there because I'm like, you know what, you started the Raptors.
Absolutely.
Maybe you can start this up. He has the formula.
Right.
I guess, like I said, it's been 25 years since the Raptors have been in existence, and every year, the interest of basketball in our country is continuously growing.
Right.
And with the Raptors winning the NBA Finals this past June, everything's a possibility for basketball.
Yes.
Like everything. So, the only way to get a franchise is to start the conversation.
Yes.
And that was pretty much my job. That what I wanted to do was to have the conversation started. So, one up for me.
Great. Big up yourself. Yes.
Big up myself. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about Seneca, because this is your newest. Now you are head coach of Seneca Stings, and that's insane. I mean, huge congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm so proud of you.
Picture.
It's all good. It's all good.
Pick it out.
But here you are now. You get this opportunity to coach. Like, how did that come about?
I was at Central Tech, and it was coming to the end, and like I said, I was thinking of transitioning out of coaching basketball and more focusing on Canleats. There was a gentleman, a real close friend of mine in coaching. His name's Rami. He let me know that Seneca was up for the job, and at the beginning I was like, oh hell no. Like, I'm out of there.
Right.
But sitting down, talking with my family about it.
Yeah.
I prayed about it.
Yeah.
And it was the right thing to do, and I put in my application, not expecting them to contact me back.
Right.
And by the grace of God, they did, and here we are.
I love it. And I was gonna say to you, God has another plan for you. Sometimes we're trying to steer our lives in a direction, and God's like, no, this is where you belong. You know what I mean? You get back here.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. And what has the experience been like for you so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I love the experience. I feel like I have the best coaching staff in the league.
Okay.
We've gotten along right from day one. They've believed in the message that I've been preaching.
Right.
And it's been echoing to our team. The girls are great. Some days they're better than other days.
Sure.
And one thing I can say is that they're unified.
Right.
And they're bought into the culture that we're trying to create. We're trying to rebrand Seneca into a powerhouse situation where everybody knows that if you're going to play Seneca Sting, that you're going to play a quality team.
I love it.
For me, it's just I love it. I love every day of it. I love every moment, good and bad.
Yes,
I love it.
yeah.
And, I express to our team that I love it. So hopefully that they, again, they're watching and that they know that, I'm there for them. And, same with my staff, the administration. Everybody's just great. It's just it's a great situation. And I love, again, I love watching the process.
Yes, I'm sure they feel it because, I mean, as you talk about it and, the passion shows through and like I have goosebumps as you're talking about it. So that's really amazing. And coaching at Seneca is particularly special for you. And, do you want to talk about a little bit about why?
Sure. I mean, my mom, she went there to school. She graduated in 95, 96.
Yeah.
My sister, she graduated. I don't know when she graduated. She graduated. She graduated
Oh,
there.
amazing.
And,
there's your mom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my true love right there.
Yeah.
And she instilled a lot in me, and I'm just glad that I'm able to come back to her alma mater
Yeah.
and make my stamp. 'Cause, clearly my mom and my sister, they made their stamp at Seneca. So
Right.
this is my turn. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I mean, you talked a little bit before about Shoot for the Cure. So do you want to go a little bit, if you don't mind, going in a little bit more detail about your mom and your experience with that? I know that was a tough experience.
So in 2007, I was living in Dallas, Texas, actually, and she called me and was like, I'm diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow.
And before then, she never got as much as a cold.
Wow.
Or at least I didn't know.
Right.
And,
right.
So I had to come back home because, take care of her because, she didn't have anybody. My sister
course.
was living in Atlanta. She was working for CNN in Atlanta. So she couldn't come back. And I took time off to, take her to chemo and, really just spend, quality time with her and just be there for her. 2009, she passed away.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. And, it, turned my life around because I was in my 20s. So, I'm still trying to figure myself out. And something as tragic as this, we grew up without a father figure in our household. So she was pretty much the stereotypical single parent,
Right.
single mom. She did her best, to take care of us. So it was really a devastating time for myself, my sister, and our family.
Absolutely.
So, in 2013, I wanted to, give back. And, I don't want anybody to go through what I had to go through or see what I had to see. So, creating Shoot for a Cure was an easy blend,
Yes.
Women's basketball. I'm a part of women's basketball. I'm part of the social fabric of women's basketball.
Right.
This is an issue that is being dealt with in the women's community.
Right. Absolutely.
And, it was just an easy blend. It was a perfect match. And, we've had a lot of support from different organizations, businesses, teams,
Amazing.
individuals. It's been great. And, we hope to run this for the next 20, 30, 50 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. So, I mean, again, my deepest condolences, and, it's a tragic situation, but, again, the ability to turn that around, to make it something so powerful and to affect the lives of so many people is amazing. So I congratulate you for that.
Thank you, Trish.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So if anybody wants to give support or get information about that, is that something they can find, obviously, on the CanLeets page as well?
Yes, definitely. Any questions or comments about anything that has to do with CanLeets,
Right.
you can definitely send a message out there. Our social media team, who is amazing at what they do, their
Right.
marketing, they're great at what they do,
Yeah.
and they'll definitely get back to you within a timely manner. And hopefully it's more, comments more so than concerns or complaints.
That's what we want. Absolutely.
Yes, I want
Good news.
100% compliments. No complaints. I can't deal with the complaints. So.
And if anybody wants to support a game, so if they want to check out Seneca Sting and so on, how can they? The SenecaSting.ca, is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
www.senecasting.ca, and our teams will pull up. You can pull up women's basketball. Oh,
Perfect.
there it is. And you can come watch us. We're an exciting team, and
Yeah.
our second half is going to be amazing.
Amazing. And when does the season start there?
Well, the season started in October. The second half.
Second half, I should
second
say.
half
See,
starts-
I don't know.
See, you don't. How are we friends and you don't even know what basketball is?
I'm learning, Kareem. I'm learning.
Come on now. Come on.
The second half begins.
I've
on
known you
like
for how long now? You know, I had to pull you out to be like, hey, come do some yoga to come watch basketball. You know.
That's true.
So, but yeah, you gotta, you go out there. January 3rd will be our
Okay.
first game back at Seneca. I believe we play at 2:00.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, beautiful. So, Kareem, again, I want to thank you so much for being here, putting women's basketball on such a platform, and just doing all the incredible work that you do. And I congratulate you again on your position at Seneca. And thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me, and hopefully I can come back.
Yes, I would love to have you back. I'd love to have you back. Maybe some of the girls can come too. The women can come too.
Oh, well, no, only if they're good. Only if they're good. You guys got to run your sprints. Run your sprints, okay?
That's the deal. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today on Shaping Life, and we'll see you next week.